Hi everyone, today we are going to see a new topic. It's a continuation of community. If you are seeing any schools, colleges, organization, institution, or any cities or urban, rural, or any state, country, if you are seeing all these things, there is a changes in this. If you are seeing what all the changes happen, it may be the growth, or it may be they may be learning new things, or it may be changes in their activities. If you are seeing what is that growth, for example, uh, as child, from childhood to adulthood, what are all the changes, what are all the process the person may get. For example, like when the baby takes birth, we'll call neonate, after in infant, after that toddler, after that young adult, adult, like that. Likewise, only different processes, different steps that common developmental milestone we used to call. Likewise, only in our community also, we are having some of the developmental programs. Today we'll see what are all those development, community development projects. We'll see community development project and planning. In this, what is community development? Uh, Barket Nania, he defines that this community development is a process designed to create conditions of economic and social progress for the whole community, with its active participation and the fullest possible reliance upon the community's initiative. uh, from the community, they are taking from the community people participation for to improve the community economic and social level. They started these programs. Next we'll see, here is a video.
The United Nations defines community development as a process where community members come together to take collective action and generate solutions to common problems. It is a broad term given to the practices of civic leaders, activists, involved citizens, and professionals to improve various aspects of communities, typically aiming to build stronger and more resilient local communities. Community development is also understood as a professional discipline and is defined by the International Association for Community Development, www.iftglobal.org, the global network of community development practitioners and scholars, as a practice-based profession and an academic discipline that promotes participative democracy, sustainable development, rights, economic opportunity, equality, and social justice through the organization, education, and empowerment of people within their communities, whether these be of locality, identity, or interest, in urban and rural settings. Community development seeks to empower individuals and groups of people with the skills they need to effect change within their communities. These skills are often created through the formation of social groups working for a common agenda. Community developers must understand both how to work with individuals and how to affect communities' positions within the context of larger social institutions. Community development as a term has taken off widely in Anglophone countries, that is, the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada and New Zealand, and other countries in the Commonwealth of Nations. It is also used in some countries in Eastern Europe with active community development associations in Hungary and Romania. The Community Development Journal, published by Oxford University Press, since 1966 has aimed to be the major forum for research and dissemination of international community development theory and practice. Community development approaches are recognized internationally. These methods and approaches have been acknowledged as significant for local social, economic, cultural, environmental and political development by such organizations as the UN, WHO, OECD, World Bank, Council of Europe and EU.
Next, we'll see objectives of this community development. There are four objectives. First one is to assist the villages in planning and carrying out integrated multi-phase family and village plans directed towards increasing agriculture production. For example, some of the families, like agricultural families, if you are seeing, they'll have their uh, some of the crops they used to uh, they use and some of the crops uh, they're cultivating or they're growing in their fields. uh, some they used to grow only wheat, some they used to grow sugarcane, like that, different. Particularly some of the families, they used to grow only some of the crops. So all the villages, they are togetherly, they'll plan and they'll get the idea from the government, this community development. From that organization, they'll get the ideas, they'll get the support to increase the agricultural production from that particular village. This is the one of the main objective. And next, to improve the health practices in the community, to improve their health practices. Maybe they're not practicing good health practices. It may be like they're not maintaining personal hygiene, they may be not maintaining their environmental hygiene, or they don't have the knowledge of communicable diseases, giving knowledges to them, uh, like this, improving their health practices, and to help to improve their health practice. And next, to provide the required educational facilities for children and adult education programs for village women and youth. Whatever the uh, before, if we are seeing in the villages, there is no schools, but now schools, colleges, everything is open, and they started giving education for the childrens and women also. And from the government, they started giving night uh, evening classes and all, especially for uneducated elders. They started giving at least basic education for them. This is also one of the object, to improve their education level. And last one, to provide recreational facilities. If you are seeing, to in the villages, they established parks, and to conduct any fairs from the government, there's something they're contributing for that. Like this, for any recreational things, the government also giving facilities for this. These are all the objectives. Next, community development program. It has started in 1952. A beginning was made during first 5 year plan to involve the rural population in the process of planning their own welfare measures. When this first 5-year plan. They planned that time. They planned this community development program also to improve the rural population process and to help the rural people. For the welfare of this rural people, they started this on 2nd October 1952. They started this. A community development program was launched. This was for all round development of the rural areas, not only in single area, it not only in agriculture, not only in health, including everything. They started this, and this program was held as a program of people, for people, by people. Of people means, already you are having some idea of this. Of people means within that particular community, they are one person, he is standing for that. And for people, for those people, for the service of those people, to develop that particular community, they'll stand by people. From that community only they'll select that particular person. This is this is the thing. And then this program was exterminate the hills, to remove some of the ills, uh, like poverty, to remove the poverty from that community, by helping them or giving support for their work, uh, and to eradicate the disease, giving some of the health facilities, and to eradicate the illiteracy from the community, giving education for the people. This is the To remove these ills, they started this program. And this community development block, where for 100 village, or it may be the community may the community may community is having more than 1 lakh or 1 lakh population. They'll consider it is a one block with 100 villages or 1 lakh people. They'll consider it as a one block. For this one block, they'll they'll call as community development block. So next we'll see a video. Here is the audio.
Community development block activities. Head of community development block. So there will be a head for every community development block. So that is known as a block development officer. So there are say like 6,000 community development block in India. So and they like community development blocks. So it is a permanent unit of rural planning and development. So let's see what are the activities performed by this community development block. So it improves. There are like a lot of improvements of agriculture. So the agricultural practices, when you see the olden days, there's a lot of improvements. The way they cultivate, the way they seed, the way they grow, the way they cultivate, everything has been changed. That's day by day due to there are some changes implemented by the community development block. And the major thing is the development happened is improvements of housing through self-help. So there are if you go to the olden days, you used to see in the villages, you can see only the mud house, or it's also known as a kacha house, paka house. And then as the days added, so you can see the development in the house also. Now they are using the red bricks, the solid bricks. So all kind of houses you can see in the villages as well. It is through their self help, like helping their improvising themselves. Okay. And then another thing what you can see is improvement in communication and education. So there is a lot of in the olden days, the village people, or the in the rural areas, so the people who are addicted and who are attached to their mother tongues. They are not able to communicate with the people from the outside, from the other states or countries or the cities with their languages. So now you can see even in the village, the people used to speak in different languages English or maybe other regional languages such as Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and also there is a lot of development in the education process as well. So the lot of schools has been placed and implemented, and lot of education activities has been planned and developed in the rural areas, such as not only for children but even also for the old aged people, such as there are evening colleges, night colleges, to improve their knowledge, and also help them in the communication, and also bring them to make them as educated people. And also you can see the social welfare and training, they'll provide the training activities for the people to improvise their skills in the art and craft works, where you can see a lot of craft things in the shop, such as a knitted, and also pots, and mud pots, mud vessels. So a lot of things we buy in the shops, which comes from the rural areas, from the people who are skilled with the particular arts and crafts. And also the finally you can see the improvements in the health and sanitization by establishment of PHC, that is known as a primary health center. Where in the primary health center, there will be a primary medical helps, aids you can find over there, such as first aid kits, or small fevers, cough, cold. So for these kind of illness, the treatment will be provided in the primary health center. And if it is a bit higher and bit complicated illness or the disease, so they'll be sent to a sub centers. And nowadays you can see the sub centers are also in the rural areas. For the they have implemented by the community development block, so to increase the uh, development activities in the village, rural or village.
Okay, I hope you understood this. Uh, Here is a video.
The plight of the Adivasi people is desperate. With their traditional life now consigned to history, they have encountered a new world of exploitation and dispossession. For centuries they lived deep within the forest, but now new legislation has forced their removal to the forest edge, where they have built the most basic of housing on what little land they can find. This land is heavily contested, and in recent years, tea plantation owners have gradually been taking more and more of this land as their own. Now the Adivasi people have nowhere else to go. In order to stay on the land, they've been forced into cheap labour arrangements. Compounding this is the four-tier caste system, which remains a major influence on rural life in southern India. It determines political power, employment, and the day-to-day interaction between communities and ethnic groups. As the Adivasi are considered below the lowest tier of the caste system, they suffer the worst kind of discrimination. Overwhelmingly, plantation owners and the wider community accept that the hardship faced by the forest people is part of the natural order. They have no identification papers, birth certificates, or titles for land.
The lack of this documentation has made it impossible for them to access basic services, have their right to land legally recognised, or obtain employment that will enable them to escape the cycle of poverty. In the midst of this hardship and discrimination, there is hope. Uniting World and the Church of South India have been working together for the Adivasi people. The staff live, talk, and engage with the people. They're working at a grassroots level, identifying real needs and working to find real solutions. One element of this is the establishment of their identity and then advocating for their right to land on the edge of the forest, and also access to government services as citizens of the state. In addition to this, work to address issues of poverty, education, and health have been very successful. It's staff like Mercy, a preschool teacher in one of the communities, who embody the passion and love behind this work. The program has established preschools in 12 villages, and 98% of the children now attend school daily. The project is giving tomorrow's generation the tools they need to face the future. Health and nutrition is another important part of the program. Each school prepares healthy meals for the children to address health issues, and the program increases the nutritional awareness throughout the whole community. A local nurse also monitors the health of the community by providing regular checkups. Before the work started, epidemic diseases were rife, but now there has not been a single child death. Self-help groups have been established to empower women who bear the load of community life and the care of children. Small business and leadership training is creating new income possibilities. Today, the women have an increasing awareness and resolve to campaign for their rights in the face of greed, discrimination, and inaction. With progress on identity papers in some communities, some families have been granted land and allowed to stay in homes on the edge of the forest and have access to basic services such as electricity and water. While the cycle of prejudice, injustice, and poverty is being broken, discrimination and dispossession of the forest people still continues. Uniting World and the Church of South India are working with the people and for the people. There is much more to do, but the work with the Adivasi community in conjunction with the advocacy for their human rights is bringing immediate and lasting change. For more information, including how to donate, head to unitingworld.org.au or call us on 1800 998 122.
Okay. Okay, now you understood what is community development block. If you want to know about these things, there is a Telugu movie Bharatane Nenu. If you watch, it may be useful for you to understand easily. Okay. If you are having any doubts, you can ask to me. Thank you.